No obligation design consultation with West Shore Home.
Ryan Womack is here this morning. He is with Warren and Griffin, and they're at the law office. He is kind of the go-to guy for anyone who has Social Security disability questions and claims. So he's on the show with us this morning to educate us. I should not have said the go-to guy. He's the go-to attorney. My apologies.
You don't have to apologize. I'm just happy to be here.
Well,
Thanks for having me again.
I guess the reason, you're very welcome. I'm glad to have you. I guess the reason I referenced you that way is that part of your charm, Ryan, is that you know what you're doing, but you're a very approachable person.
I've been told that before, and I really appreciate that. I take that as a very good compliment.
Well,
Thank you.
you should, and I think for your clients especially, they really need that because they're in a pretty tough spot anyway, or else they wouldn't need the Social Security disability to begin with.
Right.
But often they've kind of gone through the ringer and they're giving up some hope.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. The whole process with Social Security disability is a difficult process. Over 2 million people apply each and every year, and of those, only about a third are approved initially. It can be a difficult process in terms of the rules and the structure and what you need to prove. So I enjoy what I do and being approachable because I like to be able to explain those rules and what needs to happen in an easy way.
Okay, let's talk some numbers because there's no easy way to understand 2 million applications, a third approved.
Right.
I guess if you are in the 2/3 that are denied, don't take it personally.
Yeah, don't take it personally at all. Everything that happens with a Social Security disability claim is rules-based, and so you might know someone or see someone that might be drawing disability benefits that you look at them and say, well, that person they're not as bad off as I am. What gives? They're drawing and I'm not.
Yeah.
But those people might have met a certain rule of disability and you don't. And that's where a lawyer can really help craft a good theory and legal argument and give you the advice that you need.
Okay, I live in a scenario world.
Sure.
So can we draw up a scenario?
Absolutely.
Okay, first of all, I will tell you before we went on the air, I asked Ryan, do you have to have been injured to get the claim? The answer is no.
No. So it's a little bit different. You know, we do personal injury claims too,
Sure.
car wrecks and slip and falls and things like that. But with a disability claim, it can just be as simple as someone who has worked their entire life and their body's just given out on them. They had a tough physical job and now they just can't go back to doing that job again. They're just not physically able to do it.
Okay.
So we might have someone who might be 55 years old. They've been working in a factory or a mill for a long time and their knees are bad or their back is given out and they can't return to that job. Now there's some nuances within the rules of disability there, but if they can't return to doing their old job and in some cases they can't do other jobs, then they could draw disability benefits. They've been paying into the system their entire life.
Right, it's
And
their
so
money
that's
essentially.
Exactly, that's what the design is there to help people like that can no longer work.
Okay, I get in the weeds, but just to let me do it.
Sure.
So you're a 55-year-old who's worked and has now the difficult time with the knees.
Yeah.
Can't go back to the work he or she had been doing.
Right.
So they file a claim. Maybe they don't come to you first.
Sure.
They just file a claim on their own and they get denied.
Yeah.
Would part of the denial be because the government might say, well, you could do a different line of work?
Potentially, and a lot of this can depend upon someone's age, their background, their education, their vocational training. So 55 is a good number. I brought that up because that's a big kind of place for Social Security that they're looking at, people that have attained over the age of 55. But they want to get to us early if they can, if they, even with the initial application, because a lot of people are denied for that 2/3. If we can craft that legal argument early or sooner, they may not get denied initially at all. Yeah.
Now, I will say, because we've talked about this over the years, this is not for the impatient person, because chances are you might get denied, and you can even sometimes be denied twice, can't you, Ryan?
Absolutely. So you would file an initial application, and that can take 10 to 12 months just to get reviewed. After that, if you get denied, which again, most people do, you would file an appeal, which would go to reconsideration. Only about 13% of those appeals get approved. If you get denied again at reconsideration, we go before an administrative law judge. And that's where someone like I would step in and we would go before the judge and try to get them approved. But even that part can take 10 to 12 months to get to. So the whole scenario from start to finish
could be 2 years.
It could be 2 years.
Okay, now once you are approved, that money comes to you retroactively, correct?
Yeah, you can get past due benefits depending upon when you are deemed disabled, which is a great help for people. And you have to think about it too. If the government is taking a a long time to get to your claim and determine whether or not you're disabled or not, you're just sitting there waiting, and so they owe you money.
Right.
And that's where the back pay comes in.
Yeah. So I will say this too, if you're having to go through this part of your life, you're dealing with a lot of other things too.
Sure.
And you don't want to add that to your plate. It's very difficult to be the quarterback of your own life when you're not feeling good. So again, coming to you, you remove at least that one part.
Yeah,
of the
absolutely.
worry.
Our focus for us would be for our clients to be able to work, to continue with their medical care, to try to get better if they can. A lawyer can help them in terms of crafting, again, a legal argument. Like, we can review their medical records. We can analyze those medical records. We can coach them and talk to them about what Social Security is looking for. We can take them before an administrative law judge, and I can cross-examine a vocational expert, a medical expert. You know, that's, to me, I think that's something, if you aren't trained to do, could be difficult for a lot of people, and that's what we're here to help.
Okay, one more question, I think. Let's go with your 55-year-old again.
Sure.
But they've worked their whole lives,
Yep.
and they've paid in. Is the disability kind of a bridge until they can claim their Social Security?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, the goal for Social Security disability benefits isn't for it to be a long-term thing.
Okay.
It is for, and it's really there for, as a safety net for people that can't work anymore. But the goal of being that they will work to get better and then they'll get back into the workforce. But if you have somebody who's 55, who's getting close to retirement age, that could be a bridge before they start drawing those benefits. It could be very beneficial and helpful for those people within that time frame before they can draw.
Okay, told you he's approachable. You can find him at Warren and Griffin. Their phone number there on your screen, 265-HURT, warrenandgriffin.com. His name is Ryan Womack. Great to see you.
Good to see you.
A child attacked on the school bus. Punched 18 times.